Welcome to another episode of Digital Music Deconstruct, where we break down and highlight select parts of both original and remix versions of digital music productions. Today's I cover Lil Kim's How Many Licks. I don't cover many rap songs, but the tune was really catchy back when it was released in 2000. Only when I was searching for a cappella tracks did I learn Sean Combs was one of the writers. I also want to say that I could only find the explicit version of the a cappella. I scoured the internet for the non-explicit clean version that was played on the radio. However, the a cappella published on the single was of its original explicit mix. As you see in the full playback of the track, it fuses sonic elements of down-tempo, Latin house, 80s synth pop, freestyle, and progressive. So you'll hear bits of Lisa Stansfield, Soul to Soul, George Lamont, and Information Society, amongst others. Let me play the track in full. Again, all the tracks are left in MIDI and not bounced.
I've been a lot of places, seen a lot of faces. Oh hell, I even fuck with different races. A white dude, his name was John. He had a Queen Bee Rules tattoo on his arm. He asked me if I'd be his day for the prom, and he'd buy me a horse, a Porsche, and a farm. Damn a nigga from down south used to like me to spank him and come in his mouth. And Tony, he was Italian. He didn't give a fuck, that's what I liked about him. He ate my pussy from dark to the morning. Called this girl up and told her we was boners. Puerto Rican Bobby used to be a deacon. Now he was sucking me off on the weekend. And this black dude I call King Kong, he had a big ass dick and a hurricane going on. How many licks does it take till you get to the center of the house? This verse goes out to my niggas in the chair, beating they dicks to the double XL magazine. Like how I look in the aqua green? Get your Vaseline, roll some weed with some tissue and close your eyes and imagine your tongue in between my thighs. Open up, cell blocks. Alright, that's enough. Stop looking, listen, get back to your position. Kim got your dick hard, starting fights in the yard. Hotter than the Pop Tart, fresh out of the toaster. Niggas do anything for a Lil Kim poster. Essays, Bloods, Crips, all the thugs up north in the hole. They all wanna know. How many licks does it take till you get to the center of the house? Driving in the street, hold on to your seat. Niggas grab your meat while I ride the beat. You see a shiny black Lamborghini fly by you. That's me tonight, ride. Dressed in all black with a gat in the lap. Lunatics in the street, gotta keep the heat. 60 on the bezel, 100 on the ring. Sitting pretty, baby, with a cash money bling. 12 a.m., I'm on my way to the club. After 3 bottles, I'll be ready to fuck. Some niggas even put me on the grocery list. Right next to the whipped cream and box of chocolate. Designer pussy, my shit come in flavors. High class taste, niggas got to spend paper. Look it right the first time when you gotta do it over. Like it's rehearsal for a Tootsie commercial. How many licks does it take till you get to the center of the house?
The percussion line will remind you of 90s down-tempo groove used in artists like Soul to Soul, Lisa Stansfield, and 80s synth-pop freestyle like George Lamond. I'll slowly build up the drums by playing and adding each component one by one. There are two types of bass lines I use in this track. The first is in the first section when Lil Kim raps. Meanwhile, the second bass line is used in the chorus when Sisqo sings. The first bass line when Lil Kim raps is stacked with 4 components where the 3 are stacked together. This stack includes a sub bass, a pluck bass, and a semi-rolling bass. For the first component of the sub bass, I edit and use Logic's ES2's chirp synth bass as sub bass. This covers the low end frequency of the bass line. The second is a punchy, syncopated pluck bass that has very short attack time and also relatively quick release time. Again, I edited Logic's ES2's dark pluck bass. The third element of the bass line is a semi-rolling, arpeggiated bass line. I use FM8's CompuGov, one of my favorite sounds in Native Instruments VST. The fourth and final component of this verse bass line is a mid to high frequency swinging bass line that is arpeggiated. I edited and used Korg's Legacy's MS-20's VST's Clash PWM sound. When you combine all 4 properties together, this is what it sounds like. The other bass line I think worth highlighting is a chorus section where Sisqo sings. Here, I wanted to use a thick, gritty sawtooth bass line, so I stacked 2 sawtooth bass lines, one editing and using Logic's Big Saw bass, which provides a vibrant mid-sawtooth sounds that is sent through phaser and delay effects. Then I edited and used Logic's ES2's breathless pumping preset to provide an extra dimension of a thick low to mid sawtooth that complements the other sawtooth bass. For this sound, I adjusted the linear EQ and put it through compressor and flanger. Combined, this is what it sounds like. The final piece of this production I want to break down and highlight is introductory synth chord line. It's one of my favorite presets in Logic, and I use Logic's EX20S24's JP8 Perc Sync preset. I automated the sample start as it decreases the velocity, creating a house trance-like buildup. You can see how it slowly creeps down as automation decreases in a linear fashion. Well, that's it, guys. I just want to say thank you for your generous attention in watching this episode of Digital Music Deconstruct's remix of Lil Kim's How Many Licks. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you thought it was interesting, please subscribe. Until next time.